First thing we're going to do today is we're going to look at literary elements. Now, you have story structure, story. What's that all about? What? Features or text features, text structures, and then now you have literary elements. They are the pieces that make up the story. So you have the characters. The characters are the people or animals in the story. Who's the character in our story for this week? What's her name? Amada. Who else is another character? Her father, Papa and Mama. But like the main character would be Amada because it is about Amada and her journey. Then you have the setting. Where's the setting in the beginning of the story at? In Mexico. And then where is it at the end of the story?
LA.
In Los Angeles. And then you have the problem or the plot, which is like the conflict and the resolution that they face. So what was the conflict that they faced?
The conflict was moving to a new place because Amada didn't want to.
All right. So Amada didn't. You can see from there. Yeah. The conflict or the problem that they face is that Amada didn't want to move at first. And then the resolution was that what? She later learned to enjoy it. And then you have the event, the things that happen in the story. It says to change a character, to affect the mood, to build the plot. So the changes that she went through is that they finally got their green cards, and she had the rock that helped her remember her friend and the place where she came from. She had her journal that she was able to write in that helped her to remember her culture and where she came from. So, we're going to go to page 220 in our book. 220. We're looking specifically at paragraph 14 and 15. So we're going to reread these two paragraphs. Our trip was long and hard. At night, the desert was so cold we had to huddle together to keep warm. We drove right along the border across from New Mexico and Arizona. Mexico and the U.S. are two different countries, but they look exactly the same on both sides of the border, with giant saguaro pointing up at the pink-orange sky and enormous clouds. I made a wish on the first star I saw. Soon, there were too many stars in the sky to count. Our little house in Juarez already seemed so far away. We arrived in Mexicali late at night, and my grandparents, Nana and Tata, and all of our aunts, uncles, and cousins, there must be 50 of them, welcomed us with a feast of tamales, beans, which is bread, and hot chocolate with cinnamon sticks. It's so good to see them all. Everyone gathered around us and told stories late into the night. We played so much that the boys fell asleep before the last blanket was rolled out onto the floor. But diary, I can't sleep. I keep thinking about Papa leaving tomorrow. How do the events add to the story plot?
They go in order.
Yes, they go in order, but what events lead up to the climax of the story? They don't want to move. It's difficult, okay? But just in these two paragraphs, what are they describing? Their trip. No, was it an easy trip?
No.
Alex, put that book away and get your reading book out, please. It was a difficult journey to Mexicali. And then what happened?
They made it.
They made it, and then they did what?
Had a big feast.
They had a big feast or a celebration with the family. What's Amada's description of the setting?
They
Not right now.
Mexicali.
What?
Mexicali.
Okay.
Well, it seems to me like it's a house there, one of their family probably, because it says like all their family is there, and there's a big feast.
Right.
That kind of gives it away how it's a house, and the illustrations.
So when we're reading about the setting or the person, place, or thing, especially in paragraph 14, it talks about the different, how their trip and how the sky and stuff looked on both sides of the border, because they walked on the border. So it helps the reader picture what these places look like. She's comfortable by the sight of a familiar landscape in both Mexico and across the border. Go to page 224. We're going to analyze the plot in paragraph 21. So let me read it for you again. I miss Papa so much. It feels like he left ages ago. It's been tough to stay hopeful. So far, we've had to live in 3 different houses with some of Mama's sisters. First, the boys broke Tia Tuca's jewelry box and were so noisy she kicked us out. Then, at Nana's house, they kept trying on Tia Nina's high heels and purse. Even Nana herself got mad when they used her pots and pans to make music. And they keep trying to read what I've written here and to hide my special rug. Tia Lupe finally took us in, but where will we go if she decides she's had enough of us? Says, how do the moves from one house to another affect Amada?
They keep getting kicked out.
Okay, how does that make her feel?
Sad.
Sad. It kind of makes her feel unsure.
Confused.
Okay, maybe a little bit confused. She's unsure about
Her aunt.
right, because they've been moved from house to house and they don't know what happens if this next person kicks them out too. It says, how do you think the challenges of such a big move are affecting Amada's siblings?
They're so excited. I think they're also getting a little bit tired of it.
Yeah, maybe they're acting out a little bit. I think it's kind of upsetting them a little bit, so they're kind of not doing what they normally would do. Diana, sit up, baby. Amari, sit up. Yes, sir. So,
Maybe just like the switching the households and then their dad's not there. Maybe they just are doing all that bad stuff.
right, they're kind of acting out.
And it's a lot to take in.
It is a lot to take in. All right, let me look at the next thing.
Newspaper.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we gonna take a test on this on Friday?
Yes. All right, so we are going to do the box method with our vocabulary words. So let me write the vocabulary words down again so we can see them. I'm gonna find my marker.
Instead of box method, can we use the one that's just flying out?
Nope. Doing box method. All right, so we have first, we have opportunity, OPPUR. OPPOR. Opportunities. We have immigration. We have refugee. And then we have amazing. All right, so we're doing the box method. Let me remind you of the box method. You put the word in the middle. And you break it up into 4 different boxes. We have the picture, definition, we have the part of speech, and we have a sentence. Sentence. So you only have 5 words, so this should not take you very long, and then we're going to move on. We're going to do some social studies this morning before we move on to math. So everybody needs to be working on this at this time.
That history we were learning about yesterday.
What?
The history we were learning yesterday.
Yes, we're going to continue on with that. So let me see. Jameson, I'm going to share the digital version of the book with you so you can get the definitions and stuff out of that. Okay? I'm going to share it with you on Class Dojo. Hold on. Not Dojo, on Google Classroom.